Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow, versus Momir Vig, and we're actually against the player Momir Vig as well. This is a very high-powered Simic player. This individual plays really good Simic decks, so it would be intriguing to see how we do this game. And we're not going to do too well with that hand, so we'll have to knock it back. Personal tutor, yes. Do we want to... Yeah, I think we'll go for mystical tutor, perhaps, and cover of darkness can go on the bottom. Yeah, we'll play a land for the turn and get down the Siren Storm Tamer, I think, because we want to get into a black land as soon as we can. Momir Vig, Simic Visionary, is a 5-mana Simic commander. Whenever you cast a green creature spell, you can search your library for a creature card and reveal it. You shuffle your library and put it on top. And then whenever you cast a blue creature, you can reveal a card from the top of your library, and if it's a creature, you can put it into your hand. So if you cast a blue and green creature, you can not only search your library for a creature, but you can put it into your hand as well. That's how that works. Yeah, still don't want a mystical tutor. We're not doing too well on land, so unfortunately, we're just going to have to offer up the trade to our opponent with this Jiraga Tree Speaker. You never know, they might play around counter magic. But they're probably going to level up Jiraga Tree Speaker here. No, they're just going for Sakura. Yeah, we're going to have to keep hoping for black mana. Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow, is a Dimir commander with ninjutsu of 2. A 1/3. Whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to the CMC of the card you revealed. Oh, and another... Yeah, this is no good. I don't think we're going to do all that well. Yeah, we can't use the Siren Storm Tamer to counter a level up for Jiraga or the activation on Sakura Tribe Elder either. Yeah, I think we're just being way too slow here, but hopefully my opponent doesn't prove me to be a liar and actually shows off a bit of what this Momir Vig deck can do. I've played against Momir Vig the player quite a few times, and I've only ever actually seen them running Simic decks. And so I'm hoping that we will see some of what they've got going on here. Okay, there's a Fauna Shaman. So I think they are just playing around counter magic here. They've only got 3 cards left in hand though. Well, there's Cloud of Fairies. We might as well get that out for free. Unless we just want to cycle it. I think I do want to cycle it actually. I don't mind showing off to my opponent that we're struggling on mana. Oh, well, mana drain is... Yeah, there's worse things. Our opponent might assume that we don't have any counter magic, which they are correct to assume. And the chances of us top decking into counter magic aren't all that high. So they might just try and slam down Momir Vig this turn. Countering the Momir Vig with mana drain isn't that great because if they get a land they can just recast it again. We've just been way too slow this game and mana screwed. Okay, Prophet of Krufix. And we definitely mana drain that. We do not want to see Prophet of Krufix. Well, there's a Misty Rainforest. It's unfortunate that we can't make use of any of that colourless mana, but we can at least get into black mana here. Yeah, let's go for the Underground Sea. And then we do the usual, we swing in, and then as soon as that is declared unblocked, we go for Yuriko with Commander Ninjutsu, bounce that back. And then why don't we Mystical Tutor something good on top. Maybe we just go for some counter magic actually. I'm just now realising that we don't actually have counter magic. Why on earth don't we have counter magic in this deck? Yeah, okay, in that case we'll just go for... We'll go for Remand. Our opponent can play around a Remand pretty easily, but we're not really on the getting lots of damage onto our opponent plan currently because they're in a much better position than we are, I think. And they're searching for a creature. Well, Scavenging Ooze is... yeah, I don't actually care about Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, I think they're trying to encourage us to counter there with the Scavenging Ooze, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to set up with our Yuriko here. We'll get down Viscerous Seer. Supreme Will's nice. Yeah, we'll get down Viscerous Seer. And the Siren Storm Tamer. And then what we can do is swing in with the Siren Storm Tamer next turn, sack the Yuriko to Viscerous Seer, and then bounce the Siren Storm Tamer with Commander Ninjutsu. It's pretty slow and clunky, but we can maybe set up something good with the Personal Tutor next turn and maybe hit our opponent for a lot of damage. And we're also holding up Supreme Will and Remand. And yeah, going for Scavenging Ooze on the mana drain. And I'm just assuming that we don't have a graveyard for the rest of the game. Might be relevant if we get into a Delve or Snapcaster Mage. And Crop Rotation, not going to counter that. Oh, Gaia's Cradle. That makes our Supreme Will much worse. And just getting rid of that last card from our graveyard. We officially have no cards in the graveyard. And yep, going in with Scavenging Ooze, we will definitely not block there. In fact, we could have blocked with Yuriko. But I'm not going to show our opponent that we don't care about having Yuriko in play. And now let's sack Yuriko to the Viscerous Seer to get the Scry. A land. Do we care about a land? Yeah, I think we will put that on top actually. In fact, let's go for Supreme Will and get some card draw going now that I think about it. Reveal the top 4 cards of our library. One goes into our hand. Okay, Baleful Strix isn't awful. But Watery Grave is mana fixing. Yeah, I think I just have to go for the Watery Grave here because we've had such a terrible start. Doesn't feel good, but it clears those other cards off the top of the deck at least. Okay, Imprisoned in the Moon will be good on Momir Vig. We'll shock in this. Now then, can our opponent go for a flash creature with Fauna Shaman? A flash creature with flying that can block the Siren Storm Tamer. Or actually, they could just block. Yeah, they'd have to get a flash flyer, which they might have in the deck. Alright, let's go Personal Tutor for something big. I think we go for our trusty Rags to Riches here. Unfortunately, can't go for Dig Through Time. I don't think we can. Yeah, I thought it was a sorcery. We can't go for an instant. I would have liked Dig Through Time there, but not to worry. And then, yeah, I'd like to Imprison in the Moon on that Fauna Shaman, but we're just going to have to see if our opponent can get down a Flash Flyer here. They might not even have anything to discard with Fauna Shaman. And there we go. That is unblocked. So we get down our commander, bounce that. And then we can get down the Siren Storm Tamer and hold up Remand on our opponent. This has been declared unblocked, so even if they get a creature out now, they can't block it and kill it. They might be able to Pongify or something like that though. And they discard the Temur Sabertooth and go for Venser, so they can, yeah, they can get rid of that. Venser will bounce our Yuriko. I think I'm actually going to allow that because we can still get down the Siren Storm Tamer, which is exactly what we're going to do here. Siren Storm Tamer, I think they're just trying to get rid of our Remand. Yeah, we'll just pass it over like that. Because we got the Remand with a Tutor, they do know that we have it. They've only got one card left in hand, and yep, going for Scoos onto our cards that are in our graveyard. No reason for them not to do that. Now, unfortunately, we're going to draw into the Rags to Riches, which we would have liked to have revealed off with Yuriko. That would have been 11 damage on our opponent. But if we can manage to keep them off the card advantage, hopefully, they won't be able to get too much going. I might even just concentrate on Imprisoned in the Moon onto Fauna Shaman, because I'm worried that they're going to be able to get into a Consecrated Sphinx or something like that. Coming in with Venser, that is fine with me. We can activate Yuriko's Command and Ninjutsu from our hand, by the way. It doesn't have to be from the command zone. And 2 cards left in our opponent's hand. Okay, there's Sol Ring. They can have that. It might be worth them just going down for Momir Vig, because even if we remand it, they can just get it down next turn. I obviously don't know what card they've got in hand here, but they've got 2, 4, and 6 mana still available to them. Yeah, I don't think the remand is getting good anytime soon, so we can at least draw a card here, hopefully. And we get something new next turn. Alright, let's go in with Siren Storm Tamer, and we'll get down Yuriko again. And this is at least card advantage. Not necessarily going to deal any damage to our opponent. Okay, Limdal's Vault. I think the best bet here, we'll go Siren Storm Tamer. I'd love to Imprison in the Moon on Fauna Shaman. The problem is we tell our opponent we don't have counter magic then. And that means that they can go for something that's pretty bad for us. Plus this way we get to hold up Limdal's Vault. Yeah, I think we just carry on with Siren Storm Tamer and Yuriko and Viscera Seer. It's pretty sketchy. It's been a pretty sketchy game so far. Our opponent got off to a way faster start than we did. And it wasn't that they got off to a particularly fast start, it was just that we weren't doing anything in the early game. Okay, Riptide Laboratory gets a wizard back from the graveyard. And Prophet of Krufix is a wizard, so we might be looking at the end game soon. And going through to combat here, I think our opponent is playing around counter magic, as they probably should. They've seen that we play it. Okay, and surprisingly not going for Riptide Laboratory onto the Prophet of Krufix. So in that case, we're just going to try Limdal's Vault. They're definitely playing around counter magic. Force of Will. I think I'd actually quite like to try and get into the scroll rack. So we'll pay a life here and put those back in any order. Yeah, we'll pay a life again and put those back in any order. Ornithopter's really good. Temporal Mastery could get us an extra turn. Oh, that's tempting. What do we do with the other cards, though, is the question. Yeah, I think we just have to try really hard for Scroll Rack. Okay, that is half tempting. We can actually go for Arcane Denial and Cover of Darkness there. I'm actually going to leave that. So we'll go that and that. Then we want to draw into Arcane Denial. So we'll go Cover of Darkness. We'll reveal this big spell. And we'll draw into the Arcane Denial. Yeah, I think we go for that. So now what we do is scry with Viscera Seer. Sacrifice the Yuriko. We're going to put the Cover of Darkness on top of our library. Did I put that back in the wrong order? Oh no. That was exactly what I put on top, because we're going to try and reveal that with Yuriko. Yes, I'm already misremembering. Then we go in with Siren Storm Tamer and hope that our opponent doesn't block that. Command and Ninjutsu gets down Yuriko. And now we'll see if our opponent's got any tricky stuff for us. Oh, it's not from your graveyard, is it? Return it. I thought this was from your graveyard. It's no wonder they didn't go for that with Prophet of Kruphix. I thought this got something back from your graveyard. It's from the battlefield back into your hand. Okay, fair enough. Well, we've got Arcane Denial. I assume our opponent's going to get down. The vents are here. They are. Go for Arcane Denial there. That will draw our opponent a couple of cards, which I really don't like, but we're too far behind as it is anyway. I'm really not thinking that we're going to win this game. And then we get our opponent down to 9. And there's nothing else we can do. We just have to get down Siren Storm Tamer here. And we get to draw a card deeper. We get into Cover of Darkness that we knew was there. I forget what the other 2 cards are, actually. Oh, there's Snapcaster Mage and the Shadow Creature. So we can at least reveal those and get into some other stuff. Once Cover of Darkness is down, I'd be half tempted to maybe get down Rags and -2/-2 everything. Oh, Muldrifter, even more card draw for our opponent. So that means that our Siren Storm Tamer ability isn't going to work. But luckily we've gotten into the Cover of Darkness anyway, which gives our stuff fear. So the only thing our opponent is going to be able to block with is a colourless creature. Let's see what they go with here from the Fauna Shaman. Gotten a lot of use out of that thing this game. Yeah, there's Seedborn Muse. That's a worse Prophet of Kruphix, but it's still a really good card. 4 cards in our opponent's hand now. There's every chance that they've got counter magic. Now that we don't care about Siren Storm Tamer and Viscera Seer, I'm just thinking if we want to sack and scry with the Viscera Seer. Yeah, I think Cover of Darkness just allows us to attempt to run away with this. So we go Cover of Darkness and see if our opponent has counter magic. 4 cards in their hand. Alright, and we'll just have to say Ninja. Then I'm going to sacrifice the Viscera Seer to its own ability and scry the Shadow Creature to the bottom because I want to try and reveal something else that's quite big. And I'm going to hold up the commit. Yuriko has fear thanks to Cover of Darkness, so our opponent can't block it as of yet. Okay, they're just making Scavenging Ooze as big as possible. Probably trying to race us. They might be able to kill us next turn if we're not careful. The Scavenging Ooze gets bigger. For every creature it exiles, it gets a plus counter and you gain a life. Yeah, that's definitely what they're going for. It's like I said to you at the beginning of the game, this player is a very capable commander player, and I've had many a good game against him. I've been meaning to play him on the channel for quite a while. Well, they might not have been going for the buff on Scavenging Ooze, actually. They might have been trying to get themselves out of Yuriko range. We'll probably just reveal a land here anyway. Yeah, and all we get is a Slither Blade. We can flash Snapcaster Mage into play to block. We can also commit, I think, bounces a permanent. Put a non-land permanent or spell into its owner's library, second from the top, so we can do that as well. Yeah, we'll just try and have our opponent swing in with everything here. I'd like to try and keep Siren Storm Tamer around, actually, so that... Oh, there's an acidic slime. Yeah, it's not looking good for us. We could counter that, but then they can easily go and get a Rex Sage or something to get rid of Cover of Darkness. They might not have a creature in hand to do that with, though. Yeah, I'm going to have to try and counter the acidic slime here. we're really not going to do a whole lot this game, I don't think, now. Yep, and there's the Sower of Temptation, which is going to steal a blocker, and that gets our opponent through for lethal, I think. What did I tell you? This is a very capable Magic player, and I've been meaning to get them on the channel for a while. Oh, 0 exactly. What were we on? 14? That's 4. 12, yeah, 14 exactly. Good for our opponent. Yeah, I've been meaning to get this individual on the channel for a while because they are a very capable Magic player and they play some very, very good Simic decks, which you saw here. But it's not just the deck that you make, it's how you run it as well, and our opponent made some very good plays there, like that last turn, for example. But we were just too slow. Our opponent didn't get off to a lightning start, but we were just really, really slow there, not getting into our black mana as quickly as we would have liked. But that's how it goes sometimes. I'm glad I got to show you Momir Vig, the commander and the player, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.